In this video we're going to take Google Stitch design and turn it into a working project in Google Antigravity. In order to do so, I created this plan. We're going to talk about what is Google Stitch, what is Google Antigravity, how to connect Google Stitch to Antigravity. We're going to add some agent skills for this task. We're going to generate a plan. Of course, we're going to execute it, and after that we're going to complete the whole flow and talk about how to turn it into a real working app. During the video I'm going to give tips from my experience, so if you want to master Google Stitch and Google Antigravity, make sure to watch the whole video. Let's dive into it. So this is Google Stitch. In order to enter to this website, go to stitch.withgoogle.com or just search for Google Stitch on Google and enter to the first website. When you enter to the website, on the left you can see your previous projects, and in the center of the screen you can see the chat area. Here we can choose between application and web. In this video we're going to create UI for website. Here we can write our prompt. With the plus button we can add additional images and add URLs for the prompt. We also have the option to choose between models. In this video we're going to execute this prompt, create a landing page for my Google Antigravity course. The syllabus of the course is inside the image I attached. It should encourage the visitor to enroll. And this is the image. As you can see, we have our installation, overview of Google Antigravity, Agents Manager, and a project of Google Antigravity so we can learn by example. So I drag the image to the chat, and now you can see that I have my prompt and my image. For the first prompt I want to go with Gemini 3 Pro High. It will take longer, but we'll get the maximum quality of the output. And now we just need to execute the prompt. On the left you can see the estimated time. It should take more than a minute. That's it, Google Stitch completed the execution. The first action I want to do here is to rename the project. Let's call it landing page for course. And let's save it. We're going to see later why renaming was important. So let's see what we have in the UI. So the UI looks good in general. The main concept of this video is not to make the design perfect. I want to create a design, and after that we'll focus on the implementation. So let's focus on some practical tips. First of all, if you look at the design, you have a few options for preview. You can open it in a new tab. In the new tab you can see the animation, how it looks like. You can also see how it looks on other devices. For example, this is how it's going to look on tablet. And this is how it's going to look on mobile. Next, I want to show you the best feature of Google Stitch. I'll select the UI. I'll go to variations. And here I can create multiple variations. Let's say I didn't like the colors and I didn't like the images it used. So I'll check both color scheme and images. And I can also add a text, make it more familiar for developers. And I can generate variations. Great, it created new variations. On the left you can see the original one, and on the right you can see the 3 new variations. There's no doubt it's more familiar for developers, the colors, the styles. Let's say we want to implement the second variation, the design in the middle. Let me focus on it. And let's see how it looks like. Looks fine to me. Let's click on preview and see how it looks on different devices. We're going to go with this design. Now, just to make it clear, I'll remove the other variations. This one, and the original from the initial prompt. So now we're left only with this design. The image I attached is not relevant anymore, so I can remove it as well. And that's it. We have our design and we can start implementing. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I help developers turn AI into real workflows, so sub and like, it really helps me provide more value for you. Time to talk about Google Antigravity. If this is the first time you see this IDE and it looks familiar, this is because this IDE is a fork of Visual Studio Code, just like Cursor and Windsurf. I'll give a short brief. On the right you can see the chat area when you can write your prompt, you can change the conversation mode, you can plan, you can execute, you can change models. Antigravity IDE allows you to use both Google and Anthropic models. For example, you can use the Gemini 3 Pro, and you can also use the Sonnet and Opus, and also some open source models like the last one you can see here. We're going to see it in action in a minute, but before that I want to talk about the Agent Manager panel as well. Here you can execute multiple agents at once and control the outputs. You can see that I have a lot of agents that ran on this workspace, this project, alldevneeds.com. By the way, I created a full tutorial on Google Antigravity. I give it for free for limited time, so if you want to join and enroll to the course, join our school community. The link is in the description. In order to connect Google Stitch to Google Antigravity, we are going to use MCP. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It allows Antigravity to connect to external resources, Google Stitch in our example, and enrich its context in order to execute the task. Everything is going to be clear, so don't worry. Next, we are going to configure the MCP. I returned to the home page of Google Stitch, and you can see here in the blue, connect Stitch and your AI tools with MCP. I'll click on it. And this is the documentation that allows you to use the Google Stitch MCP. As you can see here, you can configure it with Cursor, Antigravity, VS Code, Cloud Code, Gemini CLI. This is the MCP configuration of Google Antigravity. Under MCP client setup, I chose Antigravity, and this is the JSON I need to configure. Here you can see that it has server URL and headers, and it wants us to provide the API key. Make sure not to share the API key with anyone. It allows any user with the API key to get access to your Stitch account, so keep it private. In the beginning of this document, there are best practices to how to store the key setup that you generate, so make sure you follow this. Let's create our first API key. I'll go to Stitch setting page, and here I want to create key. You can pause the video and do it with me. The next step is to copy the MCP configuration. I'll click here. I'll go to Antigravity. At the chat panel on the right, I have 3 dots. I'll click on it. I'll click MCP servers. Now you can see the list of all the MCPs that are available. Let's search for Stitch. As you can see, we don't have results right now because this is new. So I'll click here, Manage MCP Servers. Now I'll click View Raw Config. And in this file, I'm going to configure the MCP. I'll paste the JSON. And now I'm going to paste here the key that I created in the previous step. After I saved it with the API key, I can click here, refresh. You can see that I have the Stitch MCP configured. Each MCP comes with a list of functions. For example, we have the list projects that gives us the projects in our Stitch account. Let's try to use it. I'm going to write a prompt like this. Tell me which projects you have in your Stitch config. Now when we talk about the conversation mode, I should go with fast. I don't need any planning here. It's a simple task. And I'll go with Sonnet 4.5. Let's execute. Now you can see that he checks the Stitch MCP. He went to list projects. And I got all the projects that I have in my Stitch account. And this is our example landing page for course. Let's pause for a second and talk about what we have until now. We talked about what is Google Stitch. We talked about what is Google Antigravity. We also connected between Google Stitch and Antigravity with MCP. Now we're going to add agent skills for Google Antigravity. After that, we're going to generate a plan, execute it, and finish with some tips how to turn it into a real working application. Lately, I've released a dedicated video about agent skills, and especially agent skills in Google Antigravity, so make sure to watch it. But in short, agent skills enrich the context of Antigravity and allow it to execute more complex tasks like we want to do in this example. This is a repository that was generated from the Google team, Google Labs, and here there are dedicated skills that will help us achieve the task of converting Stitch designs into a working project. There's DesignMD that creates a design file, but I'll want to talk about the React Component skill and the Stitch loop. We're going to use these two. So React Components converts Stitch screens to React Component system with automated validation and design token consistency. What I love about this skill is that it converts the design into a structure that we can work with. I usually take it to the next level and ask it to generate React components from open source projects, for example ShadCN. There's also the Stitch loop, generate a complete multi-page website from single prompt using Stitch with automated file organization and validation. These skills allows us to create the right file structure. Now we want to add these skills to our workspace. We're going to copy this command, for example, for React component. Let's copy it and execute. It asks for approval. I'll approve it. I need to choose the AI coding agent that I want to install. I go with Antigravity. As you can see here, it was installed in global scope. It means that this skill is going to be available in all the workspaces I have, not just the one that you can see here, all dev needs. Now I'm going to repeat this process with the second skill, Stitch loop, and that's it. Our skills are installed. We can start implementing. So I created a new workspace called landing page for Antigravity course. Let's read the prompt and figure out what it means. I want to create a detailed plan for implementing a UI design website. The design is generated with Stitch. The project name is landing page for course. This is why we did the renaming. Pay attention to the following. First, the project is responsive, so make sure to handle each screen size and convert the components in the design to ShadCN components with Tailwind. And the third, use the React components and Stitch loop skills that we added in the previous step. If there are any gaps, ask me for clarification. And we're going to change the mode to be planning because we want to plan right now. And I love using the Opus 4.5 model because I want high reasoning and the smartest model I can put my hands on. Let's execute. That's great. It created an implementation plan. As you can see, it found the Stitch project. It wants to use this component in ShadCN. This is Tailwind. It uses breakpoints. It looks good. Let's approve it and see what we're going to get. So I ran through some issues that was related to NPM and to the packages that I used. But finally I got the project running on localhost, so let's see what we have. This is our website. It looks great, just like the design we gave it. Now I want to make sure that I have the right components. It created a components folder. Inside I can see all the ShadCN components, which is great. Now I want to check how it works on other devices. So let's see it on mobile. So this is how it looks on mobile. It looks good overall. There are some issues, but this is a good output for a single prompt. That's awesome. Let's see what we've accomplished until now. We talked about Stitch and Antigravity. We connected them via MCP. We added a dedicated agent skills for Stitch, generated a plan, executed it, and it's time to understand how to turn it into a real working app. Luckily, I already created a video just on this specific topic, so make sure to watch this one. Until we meet again, build workflows, not chaos.